Hey guys, it's been a bit. Today is just going to be a quick video on the Thermaltake Tower 300. I just wanted to share this build before I package it up, and hopefully it survives this trip to Taiwan. This is a build in the Thermaltake Tower 300. This build is actually headed out to Computex for this year. But before I sent it out, I just want to give some impressions of the case that I've had since working on it. This case was announced around CES of this year. If any of you paid attention to coverage for Thermaltake during that time, this tower was heavily pushed, and it is an MATX case. It supports up to MATX boards, and it uses standard ATX power supplies. Okay, there are definitely channels like Hardware Canucks that would have done a deeper dive into the case itself. But I just want to quickly go over how the case is set up and what are some of the, I guess, benefits. Right, so the case is designed to have your AIO on the right hand side and your GPU on the left hand side. It can take up to a 4-slot GPU and it can take up to a 420 AIO. All right, obviously I'm not using an AIO, but the case is unique in that it also allows you to be placed on its side, not directly on its side, but on its rear side at a 45-degree angle. Because I have painted panels on the sides, I don't want to rest it and kind of scratch it up because it's still kind of curing. But I just want to show you guys what you get when you purchase the set. They do sell a set so that you can place it on its back. It's not included with the case, but you get an additional cover like this. It matches the top, right? Except for it doesn't have the IO cut out. And it converts the case into this kind of symmetrical pill-looking item, and then it includes a stand, like so you can then place it on its rear back, right, at a 45-degree angle. So let's just quickly go into what I've done here. All right, so pretty much this year, for all the folks that are doing modded builds for their Thermaltake booth, they're all going to be Tower 300s. I originally did not have a theme, but given that everybody else kind of did a theme, I feel I had to give it a shot. I'm not a big themer, so this is kind of like my first go at it. But anywho's, let's just start from the outside. Right away, you'll notice I have removed the front middle glass. Obviously, that is so that we can see inside. But I have kept the side glass on so you can quickly take a look at what looks to be RGB glass. If I shine a hard light, you will see that there's a kind of a rainbow RGB effect. If you paid attention to my Instagram, you've probably seen this. This is done using a biohex, or a vivid biohex. Is it vivid or vividity? I don't know what it's called, but it's the car. They sell car wraps. This is their biohex tint for headlights. It comes in blue, yellow, all sorts of colors. This is clear. Although it's not very clear, but it is considered clear. And I put that on just to have that kind of futuristic look, right? So continue on the outside, I have the Thermaltake logo painted on the side, kind of I guess a negative, right? Because I masked it out, but there's so many gaps, you know. It worked fine for the TT logo, didn't work so well on the other side, which I'll show you guys in a second here. So on the other side, I have a Bumblebee head, but because of all the gaps, it didn't come out exactly as I expected. I mean, from an angle, it kind of looks like it's there. All right, it's supposed to be this, guys. I know it might be a little bit hard to tell, but that is what it is. Okay, now on the back, I don't know if my power cord will make it. Let me spin it around the other way. So on the back, I have a Bumblebee head that's somewhat lit up. It's just kind of hard to tell with the lights on it, but that is the rear. Now, moving on to the inside, I'm going to remove the glass panels real quick. I do have 3 screens in this build. One on the top, which I'll show you guys how that's done. One in the middle, and one on the bottom. Right, but just going to go over the components I used, and then we'll go into the modded screens. Okay, so I have a 420 AIO on the side here. That is a 7800X3D that's being cooled by this AIO. All my pump res distro, everything is on the top, right under the screen I have on top. I'll show you guys in a second. I'm using 2 sticks of 16 gigabyte. This is the Gene. It only supports 2 sticks, right? And 2 sticks is all DDR5 board should really have, to be honest. And on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side, I have a painted Strix. I kind of wish I did a better job on it, but I did try a couple times. For those of you that are wondering how this is done, it's a lot of masking tape, thin, wide, and a lot of patience. I actually did do this 3 times. For those of you that want to get into it, if you're a professional modeler for painting and stuff like that, you may have a much easier time than me. I'm not. So it just took a lot of tries. The eye on the ROG, it's not flat, right? So it has higher points, lower points. So when you mask it, it's very hard to get it perfect, right? And you don't want to cut too much because then you end up cutting into the cooler and leaving marks. I tried those liquid masks, but that didn't work out, and that kind of bled more onto the other color when I painted it. So I ended up just having to do it a couple times. But nonetheless, I would say it's a 8 out of 10. It's like a 10 out of 10 from 3 feet away and an 8 out of 10 from 1 foot away. That's just kind of what it is. So on the back, I have a custom-made ROG logo. It is replacing the factory ROG at the same design location there, just to light up, just to give it a little bit of a different look than just a black ROG text if I had masked it out. I am using a cable mod 90-degree cable. These cables are fine, guys. You can use these. The 90-degree adapters, I have about like 20 of them. I use them all the time. I haven't had a problem, but they have been recalled, so stay away from those. All right, so let's move on to the screen here. On the bottom, I have the Thermaltake LCD kit screen. This is the screen they sell for all their cases, like the Ceres, the Tower series, etc. The case does come with 2 panels. This panel holds the LCD, and it comes with another panel that's just flat, without LCD. What I have here is my logo being kind of put together in that Transformers font style, right? That kind of robotic twist. This was done in After Effects. I'm a noob in After Effects, so don't expect anything fancy there. And here is just the print with the Thermaltake logo in the Transformers font. I figured it's better than just having that stock TT thing that was just kind of white and ugly. Above that, I have a 3D printed screen holder that I designed myself. It has my logo, it has some cyber design on the sides, and then a custom back panel all on the LCD display. I don't know if I can zoom in here. Let me just try to get in closer there. So I don't know if that's a better angle. But yeah, so here is just a custom background that I've made to kind of look like a car in the future with some, fancy elements to make it look like it's a futuristic machine, I guess. But it is showing all the CPU stats, GPU stats, all that stuff. This is done, once again, with the Python software I've talked about before. It doesn't connect to the GPU. The screen on top connects to the GPU, which is what we'll go over now. And before I do that, just to mention, this is just something I designed and 3D printed. It is the Autobot's head, obviously, with the TT look on top instead of a triangle. I think by default it's something like a triangle. Okay, so I'm gonna move up to the screen now. So moving on to the screen on top, this is a very fragile part of the build. Some of it still needs to be wrapped up a little bit, but if I remove the top, do it super carefully, you'll notice that I have my distro underneath. This has my pump here, reservoir here, the runs here. I attach a mini reservoir onto this port, which is plugged with the temp sensor right now, to fill the distro, PC, etc. And then afterwards I remove that reservoir and put that fitting in. So obviously I'm going to drain it the same way, which I put it upside down and put the drain valve on, so forth. And this is the screen that I have on top. This entire piece, obviously, once again, was CAD'd and 3D printed to have a very stock look. And that's how the top is done. So with that said, that pretty much wraps up this build overall. This is my first time theming something, like I said. Obviously, I'm going to have more practice with the EVA Hyperion. I'm not a big fan of themes on computers because I think it's very hard to do them well. I think Modding Cafe, the guy who does the tubeless water block, he's probably one of the best at it because it doesn't look like the PC is an afterthought, which is what happens with most theme PC builds, right? It either looks like I built the statue and put a PC in it, and I could have literally put anything in it, a microwave, whatever, it would have looked the same. Or I put some stickers on it and it's my new theme. Like writing ha 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 in your computer case does not make it a Joker PC. Kind of like that. But that's why it's so challenging, right? To do it right. And I don't think I really did a great job theming it either, but you know, it is what it is. Hopefully people get the idea. But there's going to be some amazing themes there that other folks are going to do. So, you know, keep your eyes out for the Computex coverage from other folks. But with that said, if you guys have any suggestions, you can throw it in the comments. I got to pack this thing up in like a day, but anything last minute I could throw on there, or something I could bring to Computex and put it on there later. That would be great. I did have some ideas. I'll put a photo up, something I decided I may put on the back. I'll kind of make it and then bring it to Computex. But with that said, thanks for watching. Stay safe and take care.